Hello techies. Welcome to our brand new video series focused on helping you get the most of your experiences in life. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms.
The task to create a security group is: create security group. Simple, straightforward. Create security group. And the type of security group is role-based security group constrained. Role-based security group constrained. And if you have to give a name, www. I think we call it as double the compensation partner. Right. That is what we called it, the role that we created. Okay. So we are creating a role-based security group constrained. Now you will see two types of security groups in the system. One is a constrained kind of security group, and one will be unconstrained kind of security. Now can anyone tell me what is a constrained? What does the word constraint mean? There are some restrictions. So what can be the restriction? In a role-based security group, it's like specific permissions to specific organizations. Okay. Your access will work. I mean the access that you are given as part of your security group or security permissions. It will work only on the organizations where you have the role. Only on the organizations where you have the role. Example: a manager has access to only the workers that he or she manages. Isn't it? Can the manager of sales terminate her work or in the IT department? No. Why not? Why not? Because he doesn't have access. Yes, it has access. Can the manager of sales terminate an employee in sales? Yes. Why? Because he has access. He is the manager, absolutely. Same thing. Because manager is a role-based constraint security group. The manager has access only to the organization that he manages. And how do we ensure that such a thing happens? To ensure that such a thing happens, we make sure that it is a kind of a constrained security group. A constrained security group will have that option. And what is the constraint? The constraint is the organization where you have the role. That is how work deal with strips. The access to only the organization where you have the role. Got it. That is the constraint. So when we create a constrained security group, that means that you only have access to the organization where you have been assigned. That's the role. Isn't it? That's what it means. Oops. I didn't save it. So I have to do edit security group. Double. So I was in this particular screen. Now again, I will keep going back to that slide of ours. So what is the role-based security group associated with the role right? It is assigned. On one hand, it is associated with the role. And on the other hand, it is given certain permissions in the security policies. So let's go back to our this. You see here, I have to mention the role. Correct. I have to mention the role that this security group will be associated with. Typically, and it's a recommendation and also a best practice that we keep the name of the security group and the assignable role as the same. It's recommended, not a requirement, but it is recommended. Right. So that it is easy for you to understand which role relates to which security group. Okay. So that you can understand. So here you see, we have named it as the word of loop compensation partner. Let me just remove the underscore and keep it like this. Double compensation partner is the name of the security group. And double compensation partner is also the name of the assignable role that it is associated with. Now here are some options that we have. Access rights to organizations and access rights to multiple job workers. Let's focus on this one. Access rights to organization. The first one says applies to current organization only. Second one says applies to current organization and unassigned subordinates. And why default? This is chosen. Isn't this what we know already? Applying to current organization and unassigned subordinates. Remember the role of manager. What happened to the role of manager? If in a subordinate organization the role has not been assigned, then who takes over the role of manager? From the superior organization, right. In other words, if I put the same thing in a different way, like, let's say, you have assigned the role of manager to an organization, the organization has subordinate organizations, but the role has not been assigned. So who becomes the manager of those subordinate organizations? Manager from the superior organization. I'm confusing you by going wrong and wrong. But saying largely, think always. Go back to your example. XYZ Motors Sales. XYZ Motors Executive. XYZ Motors. After you hired Daniel's throw-in XYZ Motors, you assign the role of manager to Daniel's throw-in. Remember, right? You assigned the role of manager to Daniel's throw-in, who became the manager of XYZ Motors. Executive. Daniel's loan. That's your point. Why and how? It inherited. It inherited, right. So it inherited, and then it also inherited for sales and manufacturing. But then what did you do? You had to assign it to Martin and Olivia. So what did you do for sales and manufacturing? Which is assigned it, and then the general's name just went wrong. Sign it to Matt. At what level? You went to the XYZ Motors manufacturing organization and assigned the role to Olivia. Isn't it? And you went to XYZ Motors sales organization and you assigned it to Martin. But before you did that, for a few minutes, before you actually made the role assignment, who was the manager? Daniel. Because it was inherited right, and you had not assigned the role to somebody else. Clear with that. That is the behavior you saw. And that is the default behavior. So it will apply. The role assignment that you do will apply to the current organization and any